Cameron. Action. Cameron got a new hat here this week for Wolf Wednesday. Yes, put that light back. Light. All right, we're doing it again.
Go. Thank you, Cameron.
Actually, my mom watches these, so I'm not going to say any more about where I ended up.
I think there's a grizzly bear behind me. Everybody's pointing, and I don't want to look.
Silence in the jungle. Action. What's going on? Welcome to Wolf Wednesday, where we talk about our last escape, and that last escape was Las Vegas.
So I'm here with my new hat. Cameron was getting too much love for his hat, so I had to one-up him here. Today I get to talk about Vegas, which was incredible.
Something that happened that wasn't so pleasant, which you'll find out in next week's video, is when we were shooting the Beverly Hills escape, I actually stabbed myself in the hand all the way to the bone. You might have seen it on Snapchat, you might have not seen it on Snapchat, but it was probably one of the most painful things that's happened in a very long time. I never really wanted to go to Vegas. You know, growing up, my grandfather always took me to Vegas because he actually ran a couple of night shows in Vegas, and he loved it. Where do you want to go? I never say Vegas. It's always to the beach or to the mountains or, again, to get ice cream. But Adam really wanted to go there, and so did David.
So my flight actually landed like 1 in the morning. And
We got into Las Vegas around 2 a.m. because we had to wait for some people in LA to get to the car in time. So we made it there finally. We had no reservation. We had no place to stay at all. We were just like, Adam's like, oh, go to the Cosmo and just grab a room. That's where we usually like to stay. So I go there and they're sold out. So I go next door to the Aria and they're sold out. So I'm sitting here with my bags walking the Vegas Strip with like nowhere to go. But sometimes some of the most magical things and most amazing things that happen are things that aren't planned and aren't expected. And that's something that we try to do always when we're traveling and doing adventures and going on escapes. And that's great because what it does is it gives us the whole spontaneity type of lifestyle. He ended up finding a place that we could actually stay at, and he surprised us with a penthouse, which was pretty sick.
We wanted to do this indoor go-kart racing because we hear it's a big thing in Las Vegas. Ended up at Pole Position Raceway. And it was really cool because we got there and one guy actually recognized us from Snapchat. So he was hooking us up, very nice people there, and not to mention the go-karts were incredible. In the video, they looked like we were going like not as fast as we actually were, but when you're in this little bitty car and you're sitting so close to the ground, you're going like you're flying.
David was going really fast around this corner, and I learned that if you take the corners really wide and then you just hit the brakes and kind of like drift around the corner, that's the way you win. So I was doing that. I was focused on, you know, that flag that was waving in the sky at the end. And then all of a sudden I see David, he just spins out and I just ran him going like what, 45 miles an hour? I hit him so hard that my go-kart went into the air and then went under all these like barriers.
45 miles an hour. So this was no joke. It was really fun.
Needless to say, it really hurt. I ripped my hand open again, but right after that we had to go film again, and it wasn't pleasant because I felt like I just got hit by a car, which I did.
But unfortunately for Adam and Cameron, I won every single race.
Actually, I won every single race. Hopefully
Really?
you can see me
You're
right
in
now.
the poison,
This
whatever.
is poison ivy, so I'm
Poison
risking
ivy.
my life right now for this, but I just wanted to get it in there that David was struggling and I was able to beat him in
No,
every race.
This is so false. Adam literally sucked. He got last place every single time. But
I wanted to get first place, which I could have done in editing. I could have made him come in next week for whatever.
he lost.
I even made Adam look like he was going a little bit faster when really we had a stunt double for him.
Absolutely not true.
You know, this kid was just in Poison Ivy to do that, just to lie to you guys and tell you that he won. Can you believe this?
It's the truth.
That was like the creepiest microphone.
And another really cool thing was actually we were able to fly the drone inside. Now me flying the drone is still a rough sore point for me. I'm still getting used to it, and I had to fly it inside and dodge all these rails everywhere, and it was a whole bunch of craziness. But that was a ton of fun. We were able to get some cool shots in there.
So I convinced him to bring it to the top of the Rio.
To fly it while we were actually ziplining from one part of the hotel on the roof to another part.
Flying it around and this giant gust of wind catches it and it just like drifts to the other side.
Drone is just getting flown from one place to another place, and I'm panicking. I'm thinking this is the next drone that will be broken, and it's just gonna fly down from the top of the Rio, hit someone at the very bottom, and that would be it.
And I'm sitting in the back like he's gonna kill me.
So that was the whole mission. Luckily, we were able to grab the drone out of midair and we saved it. So luckily the drone is alive still, which is awesome and ready to rock.
One of David's things that he was really passionate about doing when we were there, and he was saying, we got to go in a helicopter, we need to go in a helicopter, we need to go in a helicopter. So I was like, you know what, let's just go up in a helicopter. It was kind of spooky at first because, helicopters doesn't make sense. We ended up going in the helicopter and it was awesome.
Las Vegas is a place that people go to party and gamble and do all this stuff, and that was something that we tried to do different in this escape. Where normally we go there and we hit pool parties, we go out to the nightclubs, we try to gamble a little bit, but we do the things that normally most people would do in Vegas. So this time we decided to kind of step outside of our comfort zone and do something that was different.
Now, after going to Vegas, I have this new appreciation for it because we did all these things that you wouldn't necessarily do when you go to Vegas.
One of the questions someone shot me this week was they wanted to know how Adam and I met. Adam and I actually were both flown out to Washington, D.C. when we were, 15? And it was a young entrepreneur conference, and we've just been hanging out for a long time.
So we got a good question about someone who wanted to start a business, but they were scared of failure. And that's something that a lot of people struggle with, and I know all of us who've started businesses ourselves all went through this at some point. And the biggest thing is you can't be scared of failure. You have to just go out and try it.
So one of the scariest moments when I became a filmmaker was one of the first films I directed, which I'm still working on right now. I showed a professor of mine, he said it was one of the worst things he's ever seen. And being right in the beginning when you're wanting to do something that you're incredibly passionate about, something that you want to spend the rest of your life doing, and somebody just immediately shuts you down without giving you any sort of kind of background or any sort of advice.
I would try 10, 20 things before anything worked, and if I was scared of failure, then I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't be able to get to that one business that actually worked for me. So it's very important that when you want to start a business, whether it be a clothing line or a YouTube channel or open up a store that sells skateboards, whatever it may be, you have to just know that you will fail at first. Everyone fails, it's just normal.
Inspire people. I'm getting bit by a spider right now. I hope I don't die. And I knew deep down within that I wanted to become a filmmaker no matter what it took. And that's what motivates me every week to create these videos.
So a lot of people tell me they want to be entrepreneurs, but they don't know where to start and they don't know what they want to do. My biggest thing that I always say is I never really had any formal training. There's not really a class you go to that's, hey, here's how to be an entrepreneur. You follow a passion or you follow something that you are knowledgeable about, and you teach yourself and you learn more. I never had someone to guide me. I like to say Google was my best friend, because anytime I had a question I didn't know the answer to it, I would go straight to Google and search for it until I found the answer that I thought was the best answer.
And what you got to do is you have to just get out there and do it. No matter what anyone says, no matter if someone's judging you or if someone thinks it's not going to work, go out there and do it. If you're passionate about it and you love it and you want this to be the path that you follow for the rest of your life, get out there and do it. And if you fail, who cares? Just try it again and keep going.
Look at that spider. On the leaf.
There's a spider?
On the leaf.
Where?
Oh, that's a long leg. They're not.
You're interrupting my video, guys.
Okay.
Out. Now, most people would try, to start their own business or start something, and if they see it failing, they end up just giving up. But here's the thing, if you give up, there's no chance of success. There's no way you'll find success in whatever you're doing if you give up. Am I correct? Yes, nod with me. So what you need to do is this. Keep going until you succeed. No matter if you fail 20 times, 100 times, at some point you will succeed, because what happens if you go 19 times and you fail every single time and you decide to give up on that 19th try? It's done. What happens if that 20th time was going to be the time that you find success? You'll never know because you gave up on the 19th time, and that is horrible.
When I had my last job working in Beverly Hills, I was running a nightclub, and I was working, 14 hours a day at night, and I would wake up again at 7 a.m. wanting to go around, creating videos, creating stories, but there literally wasn't enough time in the day. So what I had to do was drop a job that was safe, which I had every single day, which I knew was going to be guaranteed pay, to now here I am, what are we, 7 videos in? 8 videos in? Whatever number of videos that we are in, and I see it in our viewers' eyes, I see it in our viewers' messages, I see it in the response that we're getting, that we are making a difference. And for me, that made the whole risk worth it.
Get outside of your comfort zone and do something that you've never done before. And a lot of people stick with what's normal. They stick to the herd. Something that they've been told their whole life is go the safe route. And that's great and all, and it'll get you from point A to point B, but at the end of the day, are you really gonna be happy with that choice? That's something you really have to think about right now. Will you be happy 10 years from now with the choice that you make today? And if that's not gonna be the case, then why do it? Just because it's a safe way? Just because you know you'll make money down that route? Is that really the best thing to do? Follow your dreams, step outside of your comfort zone, don't follow the herd, become a wolf, and do what you wanna do. That is the most important thing. If you love it, if you're passionate about it, whether it be starting a business or going to run a marathon or helping someone on the side of the road who needs help. Whatever it is, get outside of your comfort zone, be a wolf, and do it, because that's what's going to make you happy at the end of the day. Wolf Talk out. See you next week. Make sure you subscribe, like this video, and comment anything you want below here. We will check it out. And thanks so much for watching this video. We really appreciate it. And we'll see you next week for our next escape.
When I close my eyes, I feel your skin. Back into my mind, you're back again.